Hey everybody, it's Mark Ling here, and I've got with me Gabe Joseph. Now, Gabe has done extremely well with our new method of affiliate marketing. However, um, he wasn't always finding it so easy doing this stuff. He's been an entrepreneur actually for his entire adult life. Like he's gone through the ups, the downs. He's been through a few adventures, and he lives in the United States, in Utah, which is in the West. His wife grew up there. He grew up in Charleston, um, South Carolina, and also over in Miami, Florida. So he's moved around a little bit. And he's been married for 22 years to his wife, Shandy. They've got 6 amazing kids, 2 girls, 4 boys, all from the ages of 18 all the way down to 8 years old. And he first got started in affiliate marketing with a program called Healthy Commissions by Rob Jones and Gary Kramer, and that started going really well for him. But then he had a few issues with like Facebook ad accounts and stuff like that. And while he loves Facebook and that was going all right for him, or well for him, he ended up transitioning over to another model that we've been working with one of the top students of Rob and Gary's, who's now doing up to $50,000 a day himself. So he's doing really well with YouTube ads, right? And this other guy, anyway, Keegan, we got him to put together a group of beta testers of this new method, which is running like video ads to a landing page over to affiliate products. And Gabe was one of those beta testers, and his highest daily profit right now is $6,374. So that's his highest single day of profit. And he's so far though grossed $120,000 since the 13th of May. That's gross amount. I'm sure the profit is lower than that. It might be half of that. I'm not entirely sure, but it's still very, very good, right? You know, if you've made half of $120,000 since May, that's and at the time of recording this, we're in August, so that's a pretty impressive profit levels anyway. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Gabe. Gabe, welcome along.
Hey, really appreciate you having me over here, Mark. It's a pleasure to be talking to you.
And it's great to have you here. Now, if I told you a year ago or 2 years ago that you would have a thriving affiliate marketing business where you don't have to own your own products, but you do have to run ads, and these ads were reasonably straightforward using AI software that can generate the video part of the ad for you and stuff like that, even using robot voices. You know, we'll get into that in a moment. If I told you that it was going to be relatively straightforward to run, there might be some teething along the way, but you're going to be able to make as high as $6,300 a day and over $1,000 a day every day. Would you have believed me?
I'd have probably laughed and probably not believed you. But the thing is that's exactly what happened right there, what you just described. I'm not the smartest guy in the whole entire world. I don't have a ton of experience in internet marketing or affiliate marketing. This has all been new to me as of the last year. And everything that you just said, AI voices sounding very robotic. I'm thinking I would never buy anything from that type of thing. Writing a quick script, producing a video within a couple of hours or so, and putting it up to have people go to a little landing page that also took maybe 2 or 3 hours to design and make. That's exactly what this model is, and it truly is amazing.
Do you have high confidence that the model's going to go well for you for years to come?
Yes, absolutely. Now, technology always advances, and so whatever the platform is, it might change, it might morph a little bit, but you just kind of roll with it and you find all of the different ways that you can advertise. In fact, so the answer to your question is yes, but there's more ways now, even a year after I started to advertise, than there was a year ago when I started to advertise.
Yeah, I'm finding that too. And I'm also personally, I'm finding there's more offers to promote. And I'm not just, I mean, ClickBank's great. And obviously you're doing really well there, but even within ClickBank and off ClickBank, even other networks, you know, MaxWeb and other places, it's quite an exciting time to be an affiliate right now. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it really doesn't matter what kind of product that you're interested in, whether it's a digital product, whether it's like a supplement or a nutraceutical, or whether it's any other type of other physical product like a widget or a gadget or something like that. These companies are relying on affiliate marketers like ourselves that understand how to take traffic or individuals that have an issue or problem and then present a solution to them and then pay a commission out. And they wouldn't be doing that if they knew how to do it themselves or could do it for cheaper than what we're doing as they're paying us. And so there's a real high demand in the marketplace, and that demand is just growing bigger and bigger each day.
And I think it's largely also because you've got to know the basics really well of how to drive traffic effectively. Like, you know now how to produce a little 90-second video without having to be on camera, without having to use your own voice, all in the space of a couple of hours using, you know, pretty easy to use software. You know how to do it, and you know how to get high click-through rates from the right people through to seeing the right landing page, which you know how to put together that gets people through to the affiliate offer. So you know how to drive traffic, and you know how to get the right percentage of that traffic through to the offer itself. I think those two things are critical: traffic and converting that traffic across. And, you know, how would you say those things with any new offer that you promote as an affiliate? Do either of those present difficulties now? And if so, what are the main challenges?
No, not necessarily, because everything that I put together is a very systematic or a template approach. The same script applies for just about anything I'm doing. The same style landing page applies for just about anything I'm doing. And all I do is I take a look at the offer, and each one of them has very unique hooks or angles that they're trying to promote as the solution to a problem. And so literally just spend about a half hour looking at their sales material, including their sales video letter, and you pick out all of those little pieces. And I literally, I have a Word doc that's highlighted, and it's the exact same script. And it's like doing an ad lib, you know, that little ad lib game you played as a kid. You just replace the words in those highlighted areas of my script. And then I take those, make a video with it, and go change out basically one or two little words on the landing page. It is a systematic template approach. It's not a problem at all.
And you did this following Keegan's method, or Keegan and Chris, obviously.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You know, and they're obviously very good at teaching the how to build those scripts, and in recent times have put together software that allows people to fill in the blanks with a lot of different variations, which is fantastic for anyone coming into this. But also, I think the other side of it, I think is quite important, is that these advertising platforms at the moment, obviously YouTube is really big, but you obviously did all right with Facebook before that, and then there's YouTube. Even if something else comes along, for any good advertising platform to go well, they usually are pretty good these days at figuring out who's buying. I think with the more sales you make, it seems to almost get easier, right?
It does. The algorithm, the AI of the particular platform, and since we're talking about YouTube, but Facebook's the same and the others are the same. The algorithm is very smart. It knows the type of individuals that it needs to optimize for. And so the more sales you make, the more it knows who the right avatar or the right individual that it needs to show your ad to. And so it really does. It's really interesting. You do a little bit of testing at the beginning, you look at your data, then you attack your data and you say, show it to more people like that. And once that's the case, it's like putting gasoline on a fire. You literally just put more on and the flame gets really big, really fast. It's really simple.
And I'm right in saying Keegan and Chris showed you pretty specifically like the kind of software that you need to do the tracking on your side so that you know, say, which ads made which sales and how much was spent. Is that easy to do? Would you say that a newbie that was, say, I don't know, let's say a 50-year-old mother of 5 could just go ahead and, who's never done anything other than use Microsoft Word and email before, that they would find that sort of thing just quite easy to set up and to be able to read and see what's going on?
Yeah. So that's my generation. I'm 43 years old, mother or father of 6, right? And it's, you can't be a Luddite, right? You can't be afraid of technology, but you don't have to be a whiz at technology. In fact, if you know how to send and receive an email, and you know how to get on maybe Messenger with Facebook type of thing, like, you can do this business. It really is not that difficult. And I actually did a little training video with Keegan, and it was right over the shoulder, showed me how to set up the tracking software, and it took less than a 15-minute phone call together. It really is not that complex. And being able to look at the software, the dashboard, there's about 5 little pieces of data that you really want to understand what it says. And after you understand that, then you know exactly what your campaigns are doing. It's real simple.
Okay, so for sorry, I know we're going over time a little bit, just a couple of quick questions. So for your campaigns, if you were starting a brand new one, how much money would you spend before you decided, actually, that offer is not converting as high as I would like, I'm going to move on to the next offer?
Few $100s. I mean,
200. Okay.
Less than $1,000 for sure, but within $200 to $500. The way that I launch, in the way that we've been taught to launch, within $100, if it's not performing the way that we want it to, then we turn it off. So I think that's more specifically the answer to your question. Less than $100.
That's how much you would spend on ads before you'd either turned it off, went on to a new offer, or at least made a tweak using one of the suggestions that Keegan and Chris and co have for you. Okay. Because that's really good to know, because people have to realize that this is a business. So in any form of business, you spend money to make money. It's not a free traffic model. It's a paid traffic model. However, for most businesses out there, they never 100% know until they test something. Like if you were running a local gym, you may need to run radio ads, in which case you might give away a 10% off coupon so you could track if people came in through the radio ad. You may find that advertising on the sports radio network does better for you than on the local, say, Top of the Pops radio network.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yet for some reason you find the Golden Oldies radio network is doing really well for you, so you carry on your ads there. Like, you don't know till you track. And the same thing is with this sort of software. It can track, it can see, like, you might be testing people aged over 45, and you might run another test, I guess, with people aged over 65, and you may find one demographic does better for you, or I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly how you do it. You poke at it with a little test, but even more simple than that. Like, again, going back to Facebook had a lot of levers that you could pull and push and test. YouTube is really so simple. And generally speaking, you would say 45 and older, Google, go figure it out. And it does. It just really figures it out.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like, I mean, I found with ads on YouTube, I'll just use an extreme example. I had one of my guys on my team bought ads for over 25 by mistake, and it wasn't performing the way that I wanted it to. Over a long length of time, probably a little bit too far, it seemed like the algorithm figured it out and only gave us traffic that was over 45 anyway.
Yep. Even though you had selected 25 and older, Google said, hey, the 45 and younger aren't buying. And so it basically just stopped showing your ad to that demographic.
So it does figure it out. However, if I'd started at 45 and over, I would have probably got there I would have got there faster. I probably would have spent $500-600, maybe even $700 or $800 less getting there. So yeah, it pays to try to get things about right, but it's not the end of the world if you don't, because the algorithm starts to see who is taking action, and not just who's buying, but who's watching the video. Like if someone doesn't watch for more than 30 seconds of a video ad, you don't pay for it. So they don't want to show it to those kind of people. And if under 45s aren't watching it, that's also another way that they quickly learn. It's not just from the 3 or 4 sales that you've made at that point. It's probably thousands of viewers that have seen the ad that they're already starting to make assessments. So,
right. You know, Mark, of note also, if let's say nobody would have been purchasing whatever that product is, no matter what the demographic, or if each one of the sales was costing far more than what your target that you told Google, let's say you said to Google, I want to get conversions for $50 or less, but Google was seeing that it was coming in at $75 or more. Eventually, Google would have just said, I can't meet your goal and I'm not going to spend your money. So at the end of the day, there's some checks that are in there as well that will really help the people, especially when they're new into this program, to not overspend in the things that aren't making them money. And those things are built into the system. It's really cool.
Okay, so let's say someone listening to this or watching this hasn't learned from, say, Keegan and Chris and Rob and so forth. They haven't learned from them before, and they want to jump on a free workshop with them. What would you say? Would you say that? What would you say in order to perhaps motivate them to want to jump on at least a free training session, if not even join their full program when the doors are open?
It's free. You have nothing to lose. Why are you waiting and why are you questioning that? Literally, that's what I would say. Those guys, there is so much knowledge that they share. They really are experts in this particular field. And if you come from a business background or not, it doesn't matter. But the simple fact of the matter is you want to learn from people that are accomplishing what you want to accomplish. And you go seek out those individuals, and anything that you can listen to, whether it's recorded, a live call, a webinar, a workshop like this, make the time, right? Take the 30 to 40 to an hour and just take it out of your day and listen to it. If you want to do affiliate marketing and you've been intrigued by this model, whether it's a little bit of time or a lot of time, whether you've been struggling, right? You've been in this industry and you just haven't had a breakthrough. You haven't really, it's like you're almost there and you're just not overcoming the hurdles. One little nugget, one little piece of information is literally all it takes. And a lot of times you're like, oh, I'm doing that one thing wrong. You make a little tweak, and that's the difference between you struggling and you succeeding, period. So make the time to do it. It's free. You've got nothing to lose.
Cool. Yeah. And then we're talking about the free workshop there. Obviously, they are going to open the doors at some stage shortly, maybe even by the time they're watching this interview. They won't be open for long because, as you know, even from the group that you were in, they're taking a limited number of people. What would you say about the program itself, or being part of it? How's it changed your life? Like, how does your wife feel about all this? You spending your time making money as an affiliate. How does it affected everything?
Yeah, so it's taken a lot of stress off of our marriage and our relationship and our life, right? So that's what money does. It doesn't buy happiness. It doesn't create anything other than a state where you can then make decisions based off of an abundance mindset rather than decisions based off of scarcity or lack. And that scarcity or lack is a real bad place to be making decisions for your life. If you would remove all of that, I think every single person would say, I would make different decisions in my life. And so it just gives you that ability to say, okay, where do we want to put our time? Where do we want to spend the money? For us, my wife and I, it's been the ability to put our kids in sports, to watch them grow and develop in their talents and their abilities and their passions, which gives us joy. We really enjoy doing that. And that's my biggest why. But, it also, 6 kids that's a big food bill, man.
Yeah. I've got 4 kids. I didn't realize you had even more. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. So, just it makes decisions a whole lot easier. It's really what it does, and it takes stress off. So
Okay.
it's been good.
Yeah, sounds like she's been pretty happy with you also in this this venture. You know, because it could be hard for I don't know if she's entrepreneurial herself or not, but it can be hard being the partner of an entrepreneur and going through those ups and downs. So it must be nice to see, you know, all of that backing you all the way is paid off as well.
Yep, 100%. She is an entrepreneur, but she's grown into that. She does a little small business here at the house as well. But the thing is, we've been through the ringer, and so going through that in your life, yeah, it's a real struggle, because you look at, hey, I could maybe just go work for a company, get a paycheck, and just nice and steady, and everything's happy and cool. But at the same time, it doesn't have kind of the far-reaching potential that doing something for yourself has. And so it's been really good though.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate your time. And have you got any last words for everyone before we wrap up?
I would just say, if there's something nagging at you, right? If there's that, man, I love my life, but there's something more. This could be the vehicle. It might not be the vehicle for you. There's so many different ways out there in order to support yourself and your family and your lifestyle, et cetera. But this is a very beautiful model. You don't have employees. You don't have overhead. You can sit at your house on your computer with an internet connection, or heck, the beach resort where you're going and just hanging out and visiting. As long as you have most of the time, I actually just run this right off of my smartphone, not the building, the designing, but it is such a beautiful model that has very little of the stresses. And if there's something that's been gnawing at you, saying there's something more, follow that little voice and at least find out if this is the right model. Because if this model is the right one for you, it can be a very beautiful ride.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, Gabe. Really appreciate your time. And for anyone, if you're considering either joining the program, if and when the doors are open, or if you're willing to, we haven't run the live workshop yet. I'm not sure, depending on when you've seen this particular call. Make sure you at least check it out. Have a close look at it. It's a really, really strong model. And, you know, I hope to see you at the very least on the workshop. That would be fantastic. Right. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. And take action with what you learn. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.